If you don't have a healthy outlet for enjoyment outside of your job, you will find an unhealthy one in your job. Today we're talking about hobbies on the Jeff Capusta podcast. Listen, I don't just find hobbies. Hobbies actually find me. I want to invite you to like, subscribe, follow, share this podcast. If you're not following me on social media, at Jeff Capusta, would love to have you there. Chances are, like me, you can look back on your life and think, I used to be a good time. Can you look back on a time of your life where you're like, man, I used to have a lot of fun. I remember having lunch with some friends and I just asked them this question. I said, guys, when did it stop being fun? Have you been there? Like, this used to be fun and it's just all work. It's all a grind. And the three of us, we looked at each other and we all acknowledged that we've got to be more intentional about fun. One of the things that puts fun back in our life is having good, fun hobbies. You know, one of the values that we have as a church is actually a value of fun. We say it like this: we take fun seriously. Like, I think we need to get serious about fun, because if we don't get serious about it, it just won't happen. Several years back, I remember coming home from a church on Sunday and I was just frustrated. I don't even remember what triggered it. I was frustrated at my staff, frustrated at my team. I felt like we missed a lot of cues, dropped a lot of balls, and I started writing what has now become known as an open letter to my staff. I wrote it out of frustration because I realized something that day. I was holding them to uncommunicated expectations. And I can promise you that uncommunicated expectations will lead to unnecessary frustrations. It just happens. It's true. So I sat down on my couch and I started writing out these ideas. Like, here's what I need from my team. And maybe someday that's a whole episode in and of itself. But one of the things that I said is this: I said, I need you to get a life. Like, literally just said to my staff, I need you to get a life. And out of that, I just wanted to encourage my team that, like, you gotta find things in life that are fun, that are enjoyable, because it causes you to come alive. And the essence of this whole podcast is to experience life to the full. It's realizing God did not create us to run on fumes. And in my life, one of the things that has added a lot of joy and excitement in life are the many hobbies that I've picked up over the years. Things such as guns, golf, guitars, coffee roasting, fitness, photography, fashion, denim, motorcycles, mountain biking, surfing, Land Cruisers, dirt bikes, skateboarding, cold plunging, clothing, grilling, sneaker collecting, vinyl collecting, reading, pickleball. That's just some of the list. These are just a few of the hobbies that I've accumulated over the years. Now, I don't do all of those anymore. Some of them are just seasonal things, but that's why I tell you, I don't just find hobbies. Hobbies actually find me. I'm the kind of person where if we're hanging out and you are super passionate about something, I'm going to go home and start researching that very thing. I'm like, well, my goodness, they are so passionate. They're alive because of it. Maybe I need that in my life. And so what I've come to learn is that everybody needs something in their life that helps them break out of the mundane. Hey, listen, Monday through Friday just happens. Work can be a grind. We need things outside of work that we really enjoy. I remember sitting down having dinner one time with a bunch of Christian leaders, and I happened to be seated next to a pastor and a leader named John Bevere. He's like a leader on a global scale. He's an author. He's a speaker. We're talking international level here. I don't know why he sat next to me, but during dinner, we got talking about a leader that we both knew that had a massive moral failure and was no longer pastoring their church. They were no longer in ministry. And he said something to me. He says, I've noticed a pattern over the years about leaders who've had moral failures. He said the common denominator is that they had no life outside of ministry. Do you get that? There was nothing outside of ministry that filled them. There was no healthy outlet. And so therefore they started to find unhealthy ones. Because they had no life outside of ministry, they actually imploded in ministry. Now, I realize many of you enjoying this podcast are not in ministry, so you got to contextualize this to your own outlet. But I believe that if you don't have a healthy outlet for enjoyment outside of your occupation, you will find yourself looking for one within your occupation. I think one of the best ways to safeguard your life is to get a hobby. And I want to give you permission to add some fun into your life. I know you used to be a good time. I know that you used to do things that filled the tank. What would it look like to begin to put some of that back in? You need to look forward to something that falls outside the parameters of your job, that is just going to begin to fill the tank. I know it's going to feel selfish, but it's okay. It's why when you get on an airplane, they say you got to put your mask on before you put on everyone else's. So many of us are so busy taking care of everybody else, but you got to take care of yourself. Matter of fact, Jesus even said that we need to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. It's called the Great Commandment. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. I can't love the people around me if I don't have a good love and appreciation and joy for me. So it's okay to take care of yourself. Some of you, you're not wired that way. You need permission to go do something that you enjoy. I want to speak to men for just a minute. To the man here, listen, I've come to learn that a bored man is a vulnerable man. Men, you need something in your life. They say idle hands are the devil's workshop. Can I tell you when I'm at my most vulnerable moments? Is when I am sitting around doing nothing. My wife is out of town and it's just me. And I know I'm not alone in that. A bored man is a vulnerable man. You need things. You need things to awaken some of the healthy desires that are in you. You need a hobby. Like for real, you've got to go and you need to find something outside of the norm. The reason that most men, I believe, live isolated lives is because they quit pursuing healthy outlets. And what I found about hobbies is they bring people together. You find other people that are interested in the things that you're into. I mean, I'm certainly there's some hobbies that don't, like stamp collecting. You probably do that on your own. I don't know if that's exciting, but if you're a stamp collector or a coin collector or something, hey, you do you. But I found that most of the time, my life begins to center around people that enjoy the same things together. You know, it's working out together. I oftentimes work out with the same group of people. It's going to maybe out to dinner with friends together. I'm a pastor at a church, and one of the things we tell people is we're better together. We do small groups where we get in groups and we get to do life with other people. We need that. And I find hobbies have a way of bringing people together. Hey everyone, real quick. In some of the initial episodes, you may hear me refer to the podcast as the Jeff Kapusta Podcast or the Jeff Kapusta Leadership Podcast. After recording the first few episodes, we realized it made more sense to keep consistent with the theme of Fully Alive and the book that I recently released called Fully Alive, which you can get in the description or the show notes. I just want to make sure you knew that you're not imagining things. It was us making a change. Well, having said that, let's get back to the episode. A little while back, my wife and I, we started a hobby together, and we started playing pickleball. Obviously, pickleball is all the craze. Pickleball is life. We have our own team. She's my partner. We are the Valley Llamas. We thought we were good until my son started playing, and now he destroys us. But what we found was that when we started playing together, our enthusiasm was infectious. Literally, we started playing. Some friends started playing. One day we're sitting at work and we start talking about pickleball and everybody's in. We started our own like Life Point Premier Pickleball League. Life Point's the name of our church for those who didn't know that. We would start playing pickleball on Fridays together, and then we joined this local pickleball club and we would show up to open play. And I remember showing up and my wife and I were like, oh, we got this. These people are so old. Like they're out there, senior citizens with like knee braces and elbow braces, and we got crushed. You cannot judge a book by its cover on the pickleball court. We got crushed. You know, our kids started playing pickleball, and we're out there with our friends, and it's a hobby, but it's given us reason to get off the couch, to get out of the house, to get around other people. What is something for you? It might be going out to the beach. We live coastal North Carolina, and so it could be as simple as going out to the beach and enjoying time with friends. What is one thing that you could do this week that fills your tank? What's something, I mean, just start with things that you used to do. If you enjoy fishing and you've got a garage full of fishing gear, when was the last time that you went out fishing? When was the last time that you took the boat out? You know, most boats, they sit in a storage lot. They don't even get to see the water anymore. What if you were to put the boat in the water? Maybe you love going antiquing and you just love to go and shop. Maybe it's hosting friends, having them over. Maybe you need to buy some pickleball paddles and challenge us. The Valley Llamas are ready. Maybe it's getting a grill and start grilling. I'm at the age where they say that men either get into grilling or Civil War history, and I'm not ready to go down that path. And so I love grilling. I love a good steak. I tell you what, here's your homework assignment. Are you ready for this? This week, when you're doing one of your hobbies, just tag me. Tag me on Instagram at Jeff Capusta. I will post that, share it. Let's just see who's got the wildest hobby out there. You want to go backpacking, skydiving? I don't know. It'd be fun to see what our listeners are into. Be sure to tag me again at Jeff Capusta. And if you're watching this on YouTube, drop a comment about a hobby or hobbies that you enjoy or you used to enjoy. Or let's talk about what we will do. This week, I will do X, and just put that in there. And I'm cheering for you. And matter of fact, bonus points if it's a hobby that you and your spouse can go and you can enjoy and you can do together. Listen, I think that life is too short to not have fun. So how about this? How about you start to take fun seriously? Let's get some hobbies, let's get some healthy outlets, and let's watch that slowly fill the level of our tank so that we can live life fully alive. Hey guys, it's been a good time together. I can't wait to see you back in a few weeks.